Yeah. It's pretty cold. Chris has ice in his veins, so it didn't bother him. But I freeze out.
What was it like for you, Mike? First draft as a Miami Dolphin.
It was fun. It was an exercise in patience, but I think it was an exercise in patience and virtue. You know, pumped about the players that we added, so that was fun.
Making the phone calls, you enjoyed that?
Yeah, I was the closer kind of, so he had the hard work of the opener and the. But yeah, that was fun. It's a special moment for a lot of people, and you can hear it in the background, especially. So it's a cool thing to be a part of.
So I guess starting with today, you have 3 picks, and you start off getting Eric, a wide receiver. Wide receiver probably wasn't at the top of your needs, but was that just a case of best player available? And what did you see with him and his fit here?
Yeah, I think, with us, we always go down the board. We always talk about looking at the best players available. So we got to that pick, and he was a player we had talked about. We visited with him, spent some time. Wes worked him out, went there, and he was on Mike from day one about getting a Red Raider receiver in here. So we dealt with Wes all spring, talking him up. But he did it. We had a good workout with him. We did a private workout with him as well, and did a nice job for us. So we got to know him, and he was the kind of player that fit our profile for what we were looking for. Mm-hmm. So good kid, tough, catches the ball well. He blocks, run after catch or things. So when he was there, and we looked at the board, we said we had to take him.
And a few months ago, you would add competition at center for Michael Dieter. Obviously, you don't come away with any offensive lineman. Was that just a matter of how the board kind of shook out? Did you try to trade up, trade back, or just can you kind of walk me through not coming out with the offensive lineman?
Yeah, we wanted competition at every position, and we do have some competition with the offensive line group. It's as we've gone through here in the spring, and Mike and the coaching staff have been very excited about the group, and that's been the fun part about working with these guys here, as they've talked about it all spring, and of getting on the field with them recently. They're really excited about it. So with us, all through the draft, we try and look at every position, but we follow our board. We don't reach for people. And, we did try and move up a couple times, but, we had limited resources in terms of being able to move around. But as we said before, just because the draft's over doesn't mean we're going to stop looking to improve the roster. So we'll keep working through that all spring and through the summer.
What is the plan now for a backup center? Situation where you might try some other guys at that position.
Yeah, every option.
No, it's important for a team that you're a combination of players working together, and so you give everyone an opportunity that you think's fit, and we have some good young competition that we feel good about, and you're trying people at different avenues, really just to put people in the best position they can be to be successful. And you can't force the market, whether it's a draft or free agency. You do what you're most comfortable with for the team. That's what we've continued to do, and moving forward, if the opportunity presents itself, we'll jump on it. But right now, we're just we have a group of guys that are all in, trying to learn a new system and get better every day, and that's what we're most concerned with moving forward.
Chris, you mentioned, I think it was last year, the week before, that the offensive line group in this draft class stood out to you. I was wondering if there was a point in this draft where you were trying to trade up for an offensive lineman and the board just didn't fall right, or you didn't have the resources to do so?
Yeah, we were looking, but we were happy with the players we got. But yeah, there were opportunities where we made calls and tried to get some deals done, but sometimes the ball bounces that way. So for us, Mike was antsy a couple times, so we were on the phone, and we were joking about how no one wanted to do business with us.
Yeah.
So yeah.
No, and you really want to just make sure that at the end of the day you have 4 draft picks. So you're going into the both days or really all 3 days of the draft saying, you know what, we want to make our team better as best we can. And you want to feel good about the players that you add, and the players that there's a lot of people that are on the field, a lot of positions to fill, but bottom line is we need some Miami Dolphins that our locker room can embrace and that can make the players that we have better and make the team better, and that's what we did. We feel great about that.
So on the quarterback, if Chris and then Mike, if you guys can each talk about what interested you in the quarterback, what you thought was appealing about him.
Yeah, I think going through the process here, we've all kind of seen him over the years, there, because it seemed like every year Kansas State pulls a big upset over someone, and he has a game that people end up talking about. So he's a competitive kid, that smart, tough, he's got some athletic ability. So I always appreciate how he played, and then how their coaches and people around him talked about the character and the person. It was always intriguing, and then we got to the point here at the end where, there's a guy that has some potential to develop, as a quarterback, and has some upside. So we're excited, and the coaching staff and Mike, I'll let him speak on them, but they, followed suit with their work.
No, you're excited when you turn on the tape and you see a guy with passion play the position of quarterback. That's really, you could feel how his command and his competitiveness, and that's something that only the entire team benefits from, because you're touching the ball all the time, you're making decisions. So felt good about that opportunity. I just really liked the way he played the game and how competitive he was, and I think that everyone will be excited that we add another competitor to the team and move forward in that way. Skylar by far had the best audience too around him. They were all great, but I think he had like several people screaming in his ear and into the phone because it was that loud. So got a lot of people excited about it.
Mike, wanted your evaluation of Eric Ezukanma, wide receiver. Your evaluation of Eric Ezukanma, the wide receiver in the 4th round.
Well, I thought he'd be a really good guy to draft. Chris agreed, so we drafted him. He was the cool part about Eric is that that he competes, and he does it. We've talked about it at length. Wes, I know Wes believes it, and a lot of the receivers in the room are starting to understand it. But you can really dictate the toughness and physicality of a team with how guys go about their business. That's one unique thing I think we have, is that however fast they are, all of our receivers compete and play tough, and that's watching Eric do something similar in a completely different body type. It was exciting to watch him play, and I think he fits kind of the energy and the skill level that we're looking for. We want guys to be fast or play fast, and doing both with decisiveness and a team first passion that he bleeds. So excited at him. That was the biggest thing. I saw a football player playing the receiver position.
Mike, the roster, the day you were hired and the roster today are markedly different. I'm wondering if you could compare the two, maybe talk about how much better you feel about the players you have, and Chris, if you could chime in as well.
It's exciting, but you're not sure. I'd like to think that Chris thinks that I'm a pretty good coach, but then he was aggressively adding a lot of really good players. So he recognized that a good coach needs help. He needs good players. It's a collective. I'm not sure if it was a compliment or if he was like saying, "Hey, dude, you need some help." But regardless, the end result, I feel very good. Just about the whole team. It's not just about the guys that we added. It's about a collective group of people. Whether you're in your first year or you've been a Miami Dolphin for 2 or 3 years, you want people to all agree on the front end to say, hey, you know what, we're ready to do something together and fully commit to it. And I think that's what I'm most excited about, because when I first got here, we didn't even have a team meeting. I was individually meeting people that maybe two or three guys a day, and then the rest were FaceTime and phone calls. Now we have the energy of a full nucleus, and I know one thing: we have a group of guys that with these college guys now joining that are committed to trying to win football games, and that's what's the best part about the roster now.
Chris, you were asked about center. I'm curious about the running back position. Obviously, you have quality running backs on the roster, but I'm curious if there was a running back or two that you and Mike and the other coaches sort of liked in that third or fourth round range that would have been an option had it broken a little differently.
Yeah, there was one guy that we kind of targeted a little bit, and Mike fell out of his chair when he got picked by somebody.
No, I mean, I was composed. I was a professional. I was convinced I was internalizing it all.
The Niners guy? The Niners got it back, right? Was it Arizona State?
The Niners drafted
Yeah.
a running back?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
We were pretty focused on our we were focused on our 4 picks.
Yeah, we're just focused on our guys happy
Yeah.
here. But yeah.
Yeah.
I like the In-N-Out Las Vegas shirt too, Al.
Yes, purely coincidental.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Can we confirm
Chris,
the In-N-Out guy?
I think
Confirmed.
it's overrated. Thank you. I think it's overrated. So I'm sorry. Yeah.
Coach and Mr.
Mike,
Grier.
in and out?
He said confirmed.
He knows. Wait a minute, don't.
I guess organizationally, are we saying that it's overrated? I mean, there's been some heavy debate. We haven't made our burger draft pick yet, though, so we still at least have a half an hour on the clock for that.
Coach, did you guys have any HBCU targets that you wanted to bring in during unrestricted free agency or after this draft, unsigned free agents?
Yeah, there are plenty of good players in college football. They come from all different conferences. Really, but that's competitive as well. It's just like the draft. There's a lot of players that we feel good about that we would add on our team that we don't get the opportunity to because of the competitive nature of the selection process and undrafted free agency. So yes, there's plenty of players we evaluated, several of which we had high on our board.
Mike, how are you feeling now that the draft process is over as a head coach? Just how are you feeling? How was this process for you?
I'm feeling like I feel like there's been a lot of work done, but nothing's been done. If that makes sense, you're right. You're in the natural process of at least for a little portion of the calendar of the year, you can be focused on specifically one thing, and that's practicing football and getting better at that. So that's I guess relieving, but it's just a transfer of focus. It's a cool part of the process. It was fun. I imagine it. The first night will be a little more climactic in the year's future. I guess that was nice to get my feet wet by doing nothing. But it was fun. I was very happy with our draft picks actually on our first day this year. I just got to watch them practice for the last couple of weeks, right? And Tyreek, so that was good. We felt good about that one. But yeah, excited to move forward, and I think a lot of people in the building are too.
I'm guessing you guys will have a large undrafted free agency class to get into now.
Yeah, we think so. We're in the process of working through that here as the draft ends. But yeah, we'll be signing players like always and getting ready for the rookie minicamp.
Does it benefit you that you don't have that many draft picks with the undrafted rookies, or is that really just a situation that comes down to money and what you guarantee?
It's a combination of both. I think it does help because some teams have had 8, 9, 10 players added at positions where with us it gives you a little more space and room for opportunities where kids will look for opportunities with agents. But end of the day, the good players that are left, they're people. It always gets very competitive with the money. So
This is your guys' first time in this process together, working, through the draft, through free agency. I was just curious if you guys learned anything from each other throughout the course of this process the first time around.
I learned he likes sushi.
He's a tough guy to compete with.
Crushing sushi on Thursday night.
and he's a tough guy to compete with cherry Pepsi consumption. I tried to go bottle for bottle with him, and I couldn't keep up. I really couldn't. So that was humbling, I guess. But it's been great. It's been you're excited to get involved in the process, and it's felt like we've worked together for a long time. To the point that I feel like Chris might. Sometimes he looks at me and he's like, "We've worked together a long time. I'm kind of sick of you at this point," which I think is good for everyone.
No, it's been good. It's been good. We've had. It's been good. Even when we've disagreed on players, we spend time watching the players and talking through why, and talking with the coaching staff and scouts. So it's been a good process. It's been fun. I think for everybody, it's been enjoyable. The scouts, coaches, have had a number of even coaches that have Mike has hired has come in and said they've enjoyed this process. It's just been different in the openness, communication, just from other places they've been coming in here. So it's been fun. And we feel good about the process, but still work to be done.
Did you end up watching any Tyreek highlights night one?
No, we didn't.
Practice
Practice film we actually
Okay.
did
Yeah.
Thursday, yes. Practice Thursday, we did Thursday during practice, yes.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you.